What's up, guys? It's time for patch notes for Counter-Strike Global for 8th of March 2023. The first thing on our list is the side story Carnival. It focuses on Maestra and Elysium Philharmonic faction. The event missions are looking the same as the last time, which is credits with EXP and I think the Energy Plus course, if I'm not mistaken. The shop itself looks exactly like the last one as well, so it looks like I was right that they will be keeping the same type of shop for all of the events, which is a little bit of a shame. I feel like the shops previously, prior to the Origin update, I think they were slightly better. Maybe I'm mistaken, but at least in my head it feels like they were better. Like there were just more things you could get that made sense or were worth getting. Here there's a lot of stuff that like you don't really care about getting. Maybe I'm mistaken though. Maybe shops are comparable in terms of rewards. Also, we're getting some buffs. We're getting the negotiating discount for credits, so if you need to work on units, there you go. And also we're getting the 20% more gauntlet points, so that's nice. The next thing is the awakened employee Maestra. Like I said before, she's common and she is a unique, relatively unique unit because she cannot attack enemies. Instead she debuffs them, so she doesn't have any attack stat, any evasion stat for that matter, or hit stat. So in that regard, I don't think there's any other employee that doesn't attack units. So all her things are focused on debuffing, and if you pair her up with other Elysium Philharmonic units, it can be a quite deadly composition. So she's definitely worth grabbing if you like her design, but also she's worth grabbing for the rates. She will be pretty big staple there. Will make it easier for you basically to one shot 150 rates. So consider grabbing her. I wouldn't say she's a must-have. In PvP, she's usable, but you need to have comp around her, and it would be nice if you also have gear for her, which means you need to have movement speed gear, which you probably wouldn't have unless you were preparing for her specifically. So just keep that in mind. Alright. Also, we are getting the contract missions, which is, it's the same thing as with any other new awakened unit. Not that important, again, unless you're pulling on her, then nice extra goodies. New counter pass. I was wrong. Like I said last time, I was wrong on the counter pass unit. It will be Morse. She's okay. Not that important of a unit, honestly, but she's usable. You can use her alongside usually soldier comps, because she gets more tanky the more units, ally units die. So she's good if you pair her up with compositions that use employees that have multiple units in it. So for example, admin riflemen have 2 units inside of 1 unit, right? So those kind of units work well with her, because every like dupe of the unit that dies counts as 1 death. So, and she stacks up to I think 10 stacks if I'm not mistaken. So again, with soldiers you can stack it up relatively fast. Now I would grab counterparts regardless if you want Morse or not, because I mean, in terms of rewards, counterpass is definitely worth it just on itself alone. So unit is just a nice addition to the counter pass. The rewards themselves are good enough to justify the cost. Next thing is the returning awakening Lee Suyan. I don't think she's that good, really. She's usable in PvP if you want to take out enemy air units, so in that regard she's good. For PvE, I don't think there's much use for her. I've only used her in 2 places. I did all PvE content in the game, so I know what I'm talking about. The only place I used her was the Guild Cup boss, where you deploy her on the left side and she solos the enemies there. And the second place you would use her at is the, well, was I guess the old relic stage, the Edelmeitner relic stage to be precise. I did the full flying comp there, so she was definitely useful in that composition. But other than that, I didn't use her a single time anywhere else, so she's a decent unit though. It's not like you cannot use her, so if you like her kit, go right ahead. She's definitely usable. Now, on to SSR units. Revenant. I personally don't really care too much about her, and I don't really have too many pools saved up by now, because I was spending quite a lot on previous banners to get some dupes and retrieve some of the materials using the return system that they had. So I wasted quite a lot of pulls. But she's good. She's very good for soldier comps. And that's pretty much it, honestly. Like, if you're not running soldier comp, she's a skippable unit. But if you are using soldiers, or if you like soldiers, then she absolutely will be a must-have for you. She will be a great addition to any soldier comp. So, again, if you're planning on running soldiers in the future, then definitely try grabbing her. In PvE stages, there will occasionally be times where you want to use something else other than counters, so there you could probably try to use soldier comp, and then she would be a great addition. So there are probably some PvE stages that will benefit from her, but again, I did everything in the game right as of now, at least, and I didn't need to use it, so I don't think she's must-have unless, again, you're using soldiers. Speaking of must-haves, Carmen. Didn't expect her to be on this rotation. I thought she would be the next rotation of SSR units, but I was mistaken. I didn't understand that this event story includes her, so that's why she's up, and that's why I think Revenant is up as well. Now, she is definitely a must pull. She's a very, very good support. She heals a lot. She's great in PvP. She's really good in PvE as well. And I would say that nothing compares to her in terms of healing. However, in Korea, the Rearm Chinatsu, I'm pretty sure actually outshines her in that regard. I think I'd rather use Rearm Chinatsu than her. So there's that, but in global, I don't know how long it will take for us to get Chinatsu. Like, according to my predictions, it will be probably like around the end of the year. So yeah, now we still have about like 8-9 months to go. So it's a long time, and I feel like it's definitely worth pulling her, even if she will be relevant only for those 9 months. Plus, if you're running Elysium comp, she's definitely a must-have. She will be buffed too, meaning she will be stronger if you run her with Maestra. So I still would grab her. PvP-wise, if you have a ban week, for example, on Chinatsu, and Chinatsu definitely will be banned a lot. She might not be banned, and you would replace her. So even for PvP, she will have her uses. So I strongly advise to pull her. And the last SSR unit is Sheena. Now, I don't really think she's that worth pulling on. She's very whatever unit. However, she's only 2 cost, and she's a sniper, and 2 cost is the lowest you can get, especially for sniper units. And she gets stronger with Elysium comp if you're running her with Maestra. So I'm myself planning on actually 110ing her and trying her out, because I like her design and I like Maestra. I'm pulling Carmen, so might as well. I think I will try out building Elysium comp. So up to you. I don't think she's strong on her own, and I think she's usable or okay if you're running an Elysium comp. So up to you if you want to grab her or not. Now on to rearms. Han Sorum, like I said, she's getting her rearm, and honestly overall she's relatively good unit. She's good in destroying defenders, and that's pretty much it. Like, that's her role. She does quite a lot of damage because she gets, I think, 60% damage increase against defenders. So again, very, very strong. Against them, she usually is run in soldier comps, if I'm not mistaken. So consider rearming her. I think she's worth rearming, like, honestly. My only problem with her is the fact that she's a soldier, and like I said before, I don't really use soldiers at all, so I don't have any gear for soldiers because I didn't invest into that. So I'm not gonna use her. Maybe later down the line when I'm bored, I might start making soldier gear, and then I'll rearm her and she'll see some use. But other than that, I'm not planning on using her anytime soon. But consider grabbing her. I think she's decent. So the next one, KC Beans. Like I said last time on my preview video, I think it's a big thing that we're getting it on global. From skills, I have honestly no idea if she will be strong or not. I would say just wait and see for people to try her out before you grab her rearm. Unless you really like her, then go right ahead. To me, personally, she's one of like the worst characters, at least in terms of design. I really don't like her at all. I've never considered using her, and I'm not about to now either with her rearm. Very, very unlikely I will ever use her, but she might be strong, so you know, consider using her. I think she's also defender. Yeah, she stays defender, so a rare thing because we don't have really many defenders, especially rearm defenders. I think we only have Alex, that's it. So you know, she might be good. Just wait if you're afraid investing into her. So just wait a bit before people try her out and give their opinions. Challenge stages, they changed to alt squad again. Nothing worth here other than Xiaolin and Kim Saben gear. Those two, if you still don't have them, which if you play the game for a bit, you should already have both of them. But if you don't, consider farming them because they're really, really good. They're like one of the best equipment, so definitely farm them if you still don't have them. And the next thing is the event missions. Decent rewards from what I see. Nothing like great either, but good enough. I think those are standard stuff of like use stamina, use credits, recruit some employees, as you see, imaginary core. So relatively standard event missions. Doesn't look amazing, but hey, free stuff. as you play the game, so that's nice. And the last, well, basically the last thing is the Panchen. Pretty whatever, honestly, in terms of rewards. It's one of the worst looking ones, honestly. Nothing special to talk about here. And then the last thing are some improvement changes and fixes. And all I'm gonna say is nothing relevant here, to be honest. Like, I didn't see anything that's particularly important, so I'm a little disappointed because I was hoping we are going to fix or see some fixes to the game itself and systems post the Origin update, but nothing. We're getting nothing, so that sucks. I hope that on the 13th, as they promised, there will be some more things coming. So basically next week we'll see if they do some bigger changes, but I don't know, like there's a lot of things that are wrong with the game. I really hope they start implementing some changes soon, but I'm still enjoying the game, so it doesn't matter too much, I guess. It's just a little sad that they're not doing it. They're not implementing them faster. But next week we'll see. Maybe there will be some nice changes coming. But that's it for the patch notes. I will see you guys next time. Peace.